Hello and welcome to Dish Shelved with Adam White. Today I'm going to be talking about Rob J. Hayes' Never Die. You can hopefully see the cover right here. I have it on ebook, so I don't have the actual book to show you, but I wanted to try to show you this cover because it's beautiful. Hopefully you can see that. It's on my iPad, but it's only kind of shows up at that angle, so hopefully you can see that all right. Um, I want to read you what it says about it here uh, on its little summary. Ain is on a mission from God, the God of death. Time is up for the Emperor of the Ten Kings, and it falls to Ain, an 8-year-old boy, to render the judgment of the Reaper. He can't do it alone, but luckily the world is full of traveling heroes. There's only one catch. In order to serve him, they must first die. Well, that's kind of sums up Never Die by Rob J. Hayes. Uh, it was the perfect palate cleanser I'd been looking for from the big, huge books I've been reading. I've been reading like 800 and 1200 page books, and it takes me a week or two to do that. And this one, I'm not sure how many pages, but I would guess somewhere around 300 maybe. Um, but it went very fast pace. You start right in the middle of it. You've got this 8-year-old, apparently 8-year-old boy who can bring the dead back to life to serve him as a warrior for his quest to kill the emperor. Uh, it's a really good book. Like I said, really nice because it's fast paced and you can get through it. I got through it in 2 afternoons. And it was just really well written. The pacing was excellent. He didn't tell you anything you didn't need to know. He just stuck straight to the story and got to the point. And the prose was very clear, and he really didn't take. He didn't do any asides or any info dumps or anything like that. Um, he just got straight to the point from the very first words of the book, and it was excellent. There's several characters. The Whispering Blade, Atami Cho, she was a warrior who valued her oath above all else. Uh, then there's the Emerald Wind. Uh, they all have these special abilities they can use, and it's really neat. I won't give away what they do, but all of them do. Then there's Chen Lu, and I can't remember what the other one was, but there's several characters, and uh, it's a quest to get these heroes that the boy needs to kill the emperor, because the emperor has been in power because of a deal with a god of death, and he has really been ruining the world. He's captured the kings of all the lands, and he's taxing people like crazy and murdering people, and it's a mess. He really needs to go. Even the god of death that gave him his power has decided that it's time for him to go. So that's why he tasks this boy with putting these heroes together. Now, they find some strange things as they go through this book. Some of them are yokai, which are Japanese spirit creatures, and I thought there was a really good use of that. And you found some really interesting creatures and spirits that they deal with as they go through this story. There was a mixing of a lot of Asian influence on this. Uh, there was a lot of Japanese and Chinese influence on this. Uh, really interesting stuff. Uh, also, like I said, it was fast paced. When you read it, you felt almost like you were watching a movie. It was very, very fast paced. And like I said, I read it in 2 afternoons. I just didn't want to put it down. I flew through it. It was a really good book. Uh, there was also a surprise ending. I kind of saw part of it coming. One of the things that happened at the end, I guessed, but there was two other things that were surprises that I did not guess. The one thing I guessed, and obviously I'm not gonna say what it was because it's a surprise. But one I guessed, the other two I didn't guess. So it was really nice to have a surprise ending like that because when you read a book, it's nice to get a few surprises at the end and not just have everything set up from the beginning. It was also nice to have a book that was relatively short for a fantasy. Uh, I like reading fantasy. I've been on a fantasy kick recently, which you'll, I'm sure, see based on the reviews that I've got coming up. I really enjoy fantasy and science fiction, and I like mystery. I like everything, but well, maybe not everything, but uh, I like lots of different genres. And I'm really on a fantasy kick right now, and it was nice to read one that you could get through without having massive magic systems to learn or histories of uh, lands and characters and all this, and it was just you got to know the characters through the book, through their actions. They were really well developed characters. He Rob J. Hayes did an excellent job with the characters. They were all distinct, and he did it by letting you learn about them through their actions and through the way that they dealt with each other. And he really did a good job of that. Uh, now, like I said, it's a shorter book. You should be able to get through it pretty quickly. But it's an excellent read, and I highly recommend it. And I think that's about it. Uh, Excellent book, Never Die by Rob J. Hayes. It's a standalone book. There are a few others in the series that take place in the same world. I haven't read those yet, but I plan on reading them because I really enjoyed this one. But they're totally different from this one with different characters in each one. They're all standalone novels, which again is kind of nice because a lot of times when you get into fantasy, you're talking at least 3 books, but anymore you're talking like 10 or 12 books. So it was nice to read one that was literally standalone. It functions on its own. You get a complete story, beginning, middle, and end, and it's told really well. Highly, highly recommend this book, and I will see you guys next week.